Good morning, YouTube family. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome to the channel. We're going to do some sports betting. We're going to break down the Alabama versus LSU game, as you can see here on your screen. This game is Saturday, November 9th, 5:30 Mountain Time. That's going to be 7:30 Eastern Time. It is at Death Valley in Louisiana. 73 degrees Fahrenheit at game time. Should not have any weather issues. This is what we do on this channel. So like I said, if you're new, welcome. We're going to break down the sports betting. We break down lines all the time, betting lines. We're going to do spread, money line, over, under. We're going to do some player props as well. So if you're a player prop person, stick around to the end of the video. I will give you my two best player props that I like for this game. But let's make it kind of quick. I don't want to take too much of your time. Let's jump right in. Alabama versus LSU. Right now the spread is at 2.5. The spread is at 3 points. Opened up at 2.5, and it actually flipped a little bit. So this opened up at Bama plus 2.5 and LSU minus 2.5. Minus 110 odds both ways, so it was kind of a coin flip either way on the spread to begin with. Now the line has shifted. We got Bama minus 3 at minus 107 odds and LSU plus 3 at minus 113 odds. So scrolling down here, let's take a look at where the money disbursement is. Right now, it's looking like you got 67% of public bets going for the Tide. You got 75% of that money on those bets going for the Tide. So a pretty heavily favor for the Tide to hit the spread right now. But still some bets and still a little bit of money coming in for the Tigers over on the other side to cover plus 3. This is actually a game that I took way back in August. Last week of August, I took Alabama money line, so there's your free pick there for that if you wanted to tail. But I was really confident in it back then as a future play just based on how the first couple weeks of the season went. Now I'm not so sure if that was a good bet or not. That sometimes getting in on it early will help you. Sometimes getting in on it early will actually hurt you. And at the time, plus odds on Alabama to beat LSU was kind of like a great pick, especially when the way LSU started. I thought this was going to be an easy win, but now looking at money disbursement here, looking at how the lines have moved a little bit, I'm not saying it was a terrible pick and Bama's going to lose this game, but it does make me think about it a little bit more. But nonetheless, the pick is in, and it was in a couple months ago. So there's nothing I can do about it now. There's no cash out option on that one. I will be giving out some picks in my VIPs, not necessarily on this channel. My VIPs, the sportsbook plays, all the research I do, those go to my VIP clients. The free picks on here are mostly player props. The sportsbook plays I do a ton of research into. So if you're not in the VIPs, you can get 3 free days. Just down here in the link in the description, it says free and VIP picks. Type in code SCRIPT on the VIP plan. You'll get 3 free days. So basically, you're going to get this whole weekend of my picks absolutely free. Let me put some money in your pocket before you consider paying a dime on anything. Now let's look into the money line. You got Bama minus 143, LSU plus 119. That also has shifted. Obviously, it opened up Bama plus 106. I actually got it at plus 115 back when I placed this bet. So it did move a little bit in the way of LSU, and now it's going all the way back in favor of Bama. So looking at those odds right there, you would expect money's coming in on Bama. You guys already saw it down here. 95% of public bets are on the Tide. 98% of that money is on Alabama to win this game. This is why it concerns me when with the bet that I placed back in August, because at the time Bama was the underdog. All this money hadn't come in on Alabama yet, but now that there's 98% of the money going towards the Tide, scares the hell out of me for that pick, because when there's that much money on one side, there's a reason for it. And typically it's because the books are setting the lines in a way to get people to bet one side, and so that they can sweep in on the other side and win that game. Now, take that with a grain of salt. When there's a spread that's 24.5 and all the money's on one side, it doesn't really matter, right? Like Boise State's favored by 24.5 against Nevada this week. All the money's on Boise to win that game. But that's not going to hurt the books if that one pays out, because the odds are like minus 5,000 or something crazy like that. They're not going to lose a ton of money, and it's not even worth a bet for people to put a bet on that. The only reason people are using that is when they're parlaying it with something else. This is a good straight bet for people, and if they're taking Alabama at minus 143 odds, It means for every person that bets $143 on this game wins 100. So that's a lot of money that's at stake here for the sports books, and they're not going to set a line in a certain way to get it heavily favored on one side, knowing that they're just going to pay that side out. So this really concerns me here for the Tide. LSU might win this football game based on where these lines are set. Guys, don't doubt the sports books and their knowledge. The sports books are smarter than us. They typically know the outcome before the game plays. They are extremely smart. They have extremely intelligent people that they pay a lot of money to set these lines in a specific way. And with 98% of money on the Tide, scares the hell out of me for the Tide. LSU might come in and swoop this game. Advantage LSU here. They're coming off a loss, 5-2. LSU needs to win this game, get ahead of Alabama in the SEC race. I'm not going to say take the Tigers, because I'm not, like I said, I already took the Tide, so I'm hoping the Tide win. But if you're watching this video at the time of recording, one day before the game, my pick would now be on the Tigers to win this football game, based on line movement, based on money dispersion. Might be a big day in Death Valley. All right, let's look at the over-under. 59.5 here is where it opened at. 58.5 is where it sits now. So with this line moving down, you'd expect the money to be coming in on the under. Let's see where it lies. Yes, 72% of public bets are on the under. 79% of public money is on the under. So that line did move how it should move. So not really what am I trying to say? Drawn a blank on the word. Nothing crazy there. No discrepancies on the line movement. That's what I'm trying to say, guys. I'm sorry, it's early. It's 5:30 in the morning where I'm at right now. So with the money going under, the line should move down a little bit. I'm going to watch this one a little bit more as it gets closer to game time, see where that line moves, see what money does. I may end up putting out a VIP on the over-under on this one, maybe to kind of offset my loss if Alabama, in fact, does lose. Because like I said, I put that play in back in August. That was just a personal play. I didn't give that out to my clients because it was kind of like I really think the Tide are going to win that game, and it's plus odds 2 months out. So I just dropped money on it for myself. With not a ton of research into it, so I didn't actually send it out to my clients. I only give out picks that I'm confident in when I send them out to my clients. So that's what I got for the game lines, guys. You can see right here projected score based on AI simulations. Bama wins 31-23. So projecting that Bama covers this spread and blows it out, but money dispersion down here mixed with line movement. A lot of this says otherwise, that it's not going to be 31-23. Tell me what you think in the comments. You think LSU is going to win? Do you think Alabama is going to win? Is it even going to be close? I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. Let's move into the player props real quick. So first one I got pulled up right here is Mason Taylor, tight end from LSU. If you guys have watched his season, he's had a pretty damn good season considering tight end numbers in college. Okay, tight ends aren't typically guys that get a ton of yards and ton of touchdowns in college. Right now, the best tight ends I would say in the country are Loveland from Michigan, Ferguson from Oregon, Helm from Texas has actually had a good year this year. Ironically, two of those receivers I just mentioned are Colorado kids. Typically, a lot of NFL talent doesn't come out of Colorado, but nonetheless, tight ends are thriving right now. But Mason Taylor is trending in the right direction to be one of those top tight ends this year. He's got a good rapport with his quarterback down there at LSU. Garrett's been slinging him the ball. He likes to feed him. Although the last 2 games he hasn't done much with him, but I've got it highlighted right here. His yardage line is at 36.5, minus 115 odds to go over. We're going to take the over at 36.5, and I'll show you why here. Look at his graph. This is his last 10 games. Okay, you can see here he's exceeded this yard mark in 7 of his last 9 games. So it's actually 8 of his last 10 games, but this game right here, this 88-yarder, that was against Wisconsin last January, last football season. So we're just going to look at mainly these game 2 here through 10 here on his graph, because that's this football season. If you look right here, guys, these first 7 games, he went over this. Now, outside of this first game, they did lose to USC week 1, but the rest of these games are all wins. Okay, so when he's involved, LSU's offense does well, and they win the football game, right? Right here on October 19th, they did win that game. He went under on yards here, And then this game right here, he went under on his yards, and they lost the football game. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying there's a direct correlation where if Mason Taylor goes over 36.5 yards, they're winning the football game. What I'm trying to say at here, what I'm getting at is when LSU's offense is more versatile and they get him involved, they have better success as far as team success and winning football games. This A&M game, he went under. Now, on the other side of the ball, Colin Klein is an offensive mastermind. A&M had a great game plan. That's how they beat LSU. So don't get me wrong. LSU put up points. Their defense did not do much to stop A&M. So it wasn't all in this correlation as to why they lost that football game. But if you can see the graph and you can see where their wins and losses are, kind of a trend that when they're versatile on offense and they get more playmakers involved, such as their tight end, they do better, they win football games. So expect him to go over, guys. I really like him over 36.5 receiving yards just based on this graph and based on the matchup. You got Alabama, guys. They're going to have to be versatile on offense. They're going to have to move the ball down the field and score some points to beat Bama because Milroe on the other side is going to put up points on his side. So speaking of Milroe, let's talk about him. Let's jump right over passing attempts for Jalen Milroe here. Excuse the pause there, guys. My computer had a little bit of a glitch, but I got it pulled up right now. Jalen Milroe, this is his passing attempts. 28.5 is what it's set at. Over 28.5 is minus 115 odds. Under 28.5, also minus 115 odds. We are going to take the under here. Now, look at his season. Look at the last 10 games here. The first two on this graph are last football season. That's back in January and December. We're looking at basically games 3 through 10 here on this chart. All those games except for 2, he's been under 28.5 passing attempts. The 2 games he went over were Georgia and Tennessee. Now, the Georgia game, he went over that, and he went over it late. If you guys remember watching that game, Alabama had a huge lead. Georgia came roaring back, and once they got within a touchdown or so, Bama had to start passing the ball. They got away from their game plan. Early in that game, I mean, Milroe popped a big run. Milroe was running all over Georgia. Towards the end of the game, they started throwing the ball, though. Again, then against Tennessee, 45 passing attempts. Okay, that was because that was also a tight game, and Alabama was trying to move the ball, and they were trying to move it fast. That's not Alabama's recipe for success. The games that they've done well are the games that they run the ball well. This Tennessee game, where they lost 24-17, you can see right there, they lost that game, and they were trying to keep up with Tennessee throwing the football. That's why they lost. This Alabama game right here, the Georgia game right here, they were winning this game by dominating the run game, controlling the clock, controlling the tempo of the game, setting the pace of the game. And then once Georgia came back in it and Bama was forced to throw, they almost blew it. So Kalen DeBoer is a smart football coach. He's going to pick up on that. He knows, run the damn ball, establish the run game, control the clock, control the tempo of the game, set the pace, and you win the football game. That's what Alabama's going to have to do. I do think this game could be close. LSU's a good football team. So if it does get close and it comes down to it at the very end, that he may go over on this. So that's the one thing that has me with a little bit of hesitation on this pick, but I do like Milroe on the under just based on the graph itself and based on what DeBoer's game plan is going to be. He is not Michael Penix Jr., so DeBoer's not going to use him like Michael Penix Jr. He's a running quarterback. He actually might go for 2 or 3 rushing touchdowns tomorrow. I was looking at his rushing touchdown prop. I may dive into that one a little bit deeper and look at more advanced stats, but that's one that I'm eyeing. So Jalen Milroe under 28.5 passing attempts here. Guys, that's all I got for you. That's the picks right there. Milroe under 28.5 passing attempts. Mason Taylor over 36.5 receiving yards. Just a quick recap. I like to do my recap at the end of the video so you guys can see the picks and see the breakdown first. Yesterday, we hit the VIP pick big time. This is 3 straight Thursday night footballs where we're cashing out. We took Rams money line 3 weeks ago. That one covered. We took Jets money line last week. I just got my numbers mixed up. Rams money line 2 weeks ago. Jets money line last week. Last night we took Bengals plus 8.5 and the over at 47. Parlayed those together. I played it safe. I didn't like the standard lines. I could have taken Bengals plus 6. Obviously that covered. But the standard lines kind of worried me just based on movement and such. We actually did alt lines and parlayed them together to get an easy win. That was plus 122 odds. Made us some good money there on Thursday Night Football. As you guys can see, I researched the hell out of these plays. I don't just spit out bullshit and send it out to you guys. I put a lot of time and effort in researching these plays. So if you want in on the VIPs, I already told you earlier in this video, code SCRIPT on the VIP plan. If you're not a person that pays for picks and buys other people's picks, that's totally cool. I get it. There's a free plan down here in the link as well. Click the free plan. Get in on the freeze. You'll get all my picks sent straight to your phone. It also gets you access to the Discord so we can grow this community. You guys can shoot the shit together. I'm in on the chat as well on the Discord. So the free plan is just kind of a way to get in on our community and start talking to other people that love sports betting. Sports betting is a huge growing industry right now, and not everybody has friends nearby them to shoot the shit with, talk shit, sweat bets out. So it's just kind of a way to get in on the community. And then I'm putting these, last thing I'm going to tell you, I'm putting these free picks, the player props, in on Dabble. If you use code SSWIN on Dabble, you get a $25 free bet. You can put that on this pick right here, these two picks, this slip, $25. It's a 3x payout. So if you win this $25 free bet, it's $75 that you now have to play with for the rest of the football season. If you're a small bettor, if you're a big time bettor, that $25 is going to be nothing to you, but nonetheless, it still is a free $25 bet that you can play with, or 25 $1 bets. It's up to you how you use that free $25. But Dabble just gives it to you. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is sign up, put in code SSWIN, and they give you that $25. That's all I got, guys. If you like my style, hit that subscribe button, join this community, join the YouTube channel. Notification bell down here gets you all my videos alerted to you whenever I post. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Let's have some big wins this Saturday, Sunday. Let me know who your team is in the comments. You guys already know. Hook 'em horns. Texas is back this week playing against Florida. See y'all next time. Thank you.